White to move. Mutare de pion pentru a intra în gambitul regelui. Ops! Și cal F3. Next. Să evităm gambitul danez. T5 și cal F6. Și bat, și șah, și vai, și vai. Next. Black to move. CD3. Eu. D5 atunci. Pat. Stop. Puf. Dezvoltare. Abandon white to move. C4. Bat. Ops. Oh. Bine, hai. Haide. Next. A3. E3 atunci, hai. Nebune 2. Ia să dăm aici. Cal G5. Eu. Nebun pe ia. Atunci. Și acum cal G5. Mai frate. Bine, hai atunci. Nici asta nu-i bună. Care, Doamne, iartă-mă, e bună aici? Oh, Doamne, iartă-mă, nu mai prostii joc. Fratele meu.
One of the worst feelings in chess is when you fall for an opening trap that your opponent has prepared before the game. You find yourself in a bad or even losing position before you have time to get your pieces developed and start playing chess. Let's take a look at some of the most common opening traps you can use to gain a quick advantage against unprepared opponents, as well as learn how to avoid falling into traps yourself. Sometimes a player decides to defend by copying the opponent's moves. The player thinks if a move is good enough for one side, it should be good enough for the other side. Is that true? Let's take a look. After e4, e5, knight f3, and knight f6, white plays knight takes e5. Both sides have been playing the same moves. Now if black plays d6 before capturing the pawn on e4, this is known as the main line of the Petrov defense, or Russian game, with a solid position for black. If black is only copying, then black will jump into the center immediately with knight takes e4. Black is now in trouble, as the e-file has been cleared of pawns, so white can play queen to e2, attacking black's knight. The copycat strategy fails after queen e7, and queen takes e4. Unless black wants to take the copying strategy to the extreme and lose a queen after queen takes e5, black's only way to stay in the game is to play d6, attacking white's knight, which is pinned to the queen. White can simply play d4, and after d takes e5 and d takes e5, white is simply up a pawn with a better position. If black tries to avoid going down a pawn, black may try d5, protecting the knight. After d3, black is on the edge of disaster. If black retreats the knight, say with knight f6 White can win black's queen by force. Can you see how? That's right, with knight to c6. Discovering the queen's check against black's king and attacking the black queen. Notice that if the black queen tries to block the check with queen e7, white still wins the queen with knight takes e7. After d3, black's best try is queen to e7, counterattacking white's knight. After d takes e4 and queen takes e5, white still wins a pawn after e takes d5. Notice that black's queen cannot capture the pawn on d5 because it is pinned to the king. This is why copying your opponent is not a good idea. Let's take a look at another opening trap. After e4, c6, black plays the Caro-Kann defense. And after the typical moves d4, d5, knight to c3, and d takes e4, white recaptures, knight takes e4, and black plays knight to d7. Black's idea is to support knight g to f6, so that if white tries to capture that knight, black is prepared to recapture with another knight. White plays the strange-looking queen e2. This is not a great move, as it blocks in the light-squared bishop, but it does set up a deadly trap. If black develops without understanding the point behind white's last move and plays knight g to f6, white can actually win the game in one move. Do you see it? That's right. Knight to d6.
Hai să-i dau drumul la Star Challenge, white to move. Cal C3 și D4. Oh. Cal F3. De ce, bă, frate, nebun C4 atunci? Cal F3. Rocadă mică. Bine, șah. Și șah. Albul la mutare. Bat aici. Și îți dau șah. Negru la mutare. Bat. Bat. Șah. Bine, hai, bat. Bat. White to move. Joc H4. Și acum joc G4, H5, P3. Cale 5. E6 evident. Albul la mutare. C4. C5. AP4. Ești gata pentru lecția următoare, cum să alegi o mutare, cum să, da, how to choose a move. Că asta am vorbit despre cheile din deschidere. Bun, ajunge pentru lecția de astăzi.